So I've said it before that the product is one of the most important things in your Amazon FBA journey. So in this video, I'm going to do another product breakdown for you so you can learn what I look for when I'm doing my product research. So without any further ado, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the video. So to kick things off with this product breakdown, I first want to start at the top here, looking at the search volume for this keyword. Now, obviously that's this number here next to the word search volume. And what this is going to help us do is determine if we're actually looking at the main keyword for this product, because I've covered videos in the past. If I can find the exact one, I'll link it in the card above, that shows that if you're not finding the main keyword for a product, you're not going to be getting the most accurate results. Because certain keywords are obviously going to be getting more attention, more eyeballs, and therefore more sales than other ones. So if you're not searching for the main keyword for your product, then you're not going to be getting the most relevant data for that one in terms of product research to then go and buy thousands of units and order them to Amazon. Let me just give you an example of that. If you were looking at the keyword, for example, yoga mat for home use, and that was the one you was running helium-10 on, then that's going to show you results of a less competitive market than if you search just for the keyword yoga mat, because the keyword yoga mat is going to have more competition, more people trying to rank for that one, more sales, and it's generally just going to show different numbers. So some products can actually look very, very different depending just on what keyword you use to find them. So you always want to make sure you have that main keyword. One way to easily do that is with helium-10, using the magnet tools, using the Cerebro tools, and finding out, is this the most searched keyword for this product, while also still being the most relevant. What would people use to actually find this product most of the time? And just for a quick check here, just by looking at the search volume, by having a search volume this high, I can be fairly confident this is probably the main keyword, if not one of the main keywords for this product. So I'm happy to proceed with that, knowing that this is one of those keywords. Onto this second line. Now, I think I've probably mentioned before that these averages are great for a very quick scan to help us determine if is this going to be a good product in general. Obviously, if the total revenue is £100, then we just know straight away this isn't going to be a good opportunity for us. But in general, these big numbers up here are just a very quick overview. They're not going to give you any intense detail about a product, and you can't just look at those numbers and think, okay, this is a great opportunity because this guy said you needed less than 200 reviews and more than £3,000 revenue, so this is the product I'm going to go for. In reality, these numbers kind of mean nothing, because you can get the entire list of sellers. They all have between, say, 10 and 50 reviews, and you can have one guy with 10,000 reviews, and that's going to boost the average reviews up to a couple hundred, which really just makes the averages kind of pointless, because you can have one guy drag it up or down massively. So they really don't mean that much, but they still do help give kind of an overview of the market before we actually get into the real numbers down here. So let's have a quick look into that. So starting off over here for the total revenue, we have around 330,000. Now this is extremely healthy. Normally I would look for anything over 100,000 as a minimum, but being 333,000, £170 dead on, there's definitely enough demand here for us to sell our products. We don't really want to go into any product to sell it. If there's not enough demand for the product, if there's not enough people buying it, we're not going to make any sales. And depending on your budget, depending on what you want to get out of Amazon, you might be happy with selling a couple £100 a month. You might be happy with selling a couple £1,000, or you might be looking to sell tens of thousands of pounds every single month. And that will kind of determine what number here is good for you, because what I'm looking for may not be what all of you are looking for if you have a lower budget or even a higher budget where you want to look for more than this. So moving across to the average revenue per seller, £7,243. Now personally, I would always look for a minimum of 2,000 to 2,500 as a very, very minimum. But again, as I mentioned before, these numbers are pretty irrelevant. You could have one seller here who's just absolutely killing it, get 100 grand, and the rest aren't doing that well. So this number is good for a quick tell, but isn't going to teach us that much without going into detail for the actual numbers on a per seller basis. Across to the BSR, now we'll cover the BSR in detail in a minute when we look at these sales trends and why that actually matters. But for now, we're going to skip over that and go straight to the average price. So an average price of £14.74. Now, the price doesn't really worry me that much. I'll be quite happy with that. Anything over a very, very minimum of £10, I would probably still go for. But still, I would rather go for something around £15 or higher. The only reason I'd go for it if it was between £10 and £15 was if I was sure I could still get a good profit margin on that. Obviously, if you have a lower budget, then these products that are selling between £10 and £15 are going to be the ones you want to look for. If you have a higher budget, then anywhere from £15 up to £30 or even more if you have a really high budget might be more in your area. But personally, when I'm looking for products myself, I like to be between the £20 and £30 mark. But if I can see something between £10 and £30, anywhere in that range that I can make a good profit on, then I'll go for that. So an average price here of £14.74, I'm definitely happy with that. There's nothing that puts me off the product from that average price. So we'll move on to the average reviews. Now, average reviews of 442. This is way higher than the maximum of around 250 that I would normally kind of look for. But I've covered before in many videos that competition is judged on way more than just this review number. You can have products, especially there's a really good one if you want to go and search up yourselves, as a tape gun. If you go and search tape gun on Amazon, you'll see that some of the sellers have hundreds and hundreds of reviews, but they have one picture, they have like 5 words in their title, they don't have any bullet points, they have no description, and the listings are just terrible. Now, you can't tell me that just because he has 200 reviews, if I was ranked next to him with 5 reviews, I wouldn't outsell him because of my listing, because my offer would be better, because I would differentiate and bundle, and customers would just rather buy my product than his, purely because his listing is just trash, basically. So by having this high average reviews, yes, it does put me off in the fact that if everyone has really high reviews, then no matter how good your listing is, sometimes you can't combat that. But it's not the only point of reference for competition. So although I can't do that in these videos, if you was doing your product research, I would thoroughly recommend you go and check the other sellers' listings, check their offers, and see where you can differentiate, bundle, and find a gap in the market where you can still compete, as long as they don't all have really high reviews, in which case it'll be hard for you to rank. So again, these are kind of high reviews, but we'll break that down a little bit more when we look at the reviews on a per seller basis, because we don't know, there could be one seller who's just got loads of reviews who's boosting this number up, and there could be people with not very many reviews who are getting a large amount of sales. So that's something we'll find out in a minute. So with these top numbers now covered, we'll look at the category. So the majority of people have a health and personal care or beauty category listed. Now, this is completely fine. You can sell in these categories. Not all products in these categories require approval. Not all of them are gated. Some of them are, so we'll have to check for this specific product if it does have some sort of restrictions. We want to know that before we place an order, before we really go ahead with this product, to be honest. There's no point in putting all this effort into a product if it's restricted and you need to submit extra data. But if you decide that you can really make a good go of this product and you think it's the right one for you, then there's nothing stopping you from getting ungated and getting unrestricted in these categories to sell that particular product if it is restricted. But personally, for your very first product, it's probably not the hassle you'd want to go through if you don't even really know the process that well anyway. You want to go with something simple, you can get in the market, sell, get comfortable with how everything works, and then go into these more complicated markets later on once you already had a good foundation of how everything works. So there's nothing stopping you from selling these products, but personally, I might recommend against it. It depends how good this product is, to be honest. If the opportunity is really big, then you might want to just go for it. So moving across to the delivery. Now we have quite a few MFN people here, which are multi-fulfillment network or merchant fulfillment network, whichever one you want to do, which basically means that the seller themselves are fulfilling the orders. Now, at the time of this video, we're currently on lockdown and all these things are going on. So it could be the case that all these people are fulfilling their own products because they can't send them into Amazon. Now, I don't know if that's the case or not. That might just be because of the product. Personally, from me viewing the product itself isn't inherently that big. It's quite a small product. So it may be that these people can't send their products to Amazon, so they are deciding to fulfill it themselves. So something to be aware of and think about. I may monitor this product for a bit longer. I'm going to see if they do become FBA listings later on. But for now, there are a few FBA listings here. But up near the top, most of them are MFN. So that does put me off slightly, that there might be something wrong with the product. There might be some issues with that, but in general, it might be the situation that's happening now. And if we can see that FBA sellers are getting just as good sales as the MFN sellers, and they're ranking in the same kind of positions, then we'll just have to see how that goes when we look at the revenues down the line. So moving across to the price of this product. Now, we said above that the average price is basically around £15. And of course, with every product, you're going to have price fluctuations of people trying to sell it cheap, people doing different bundles, sell it more expensive, people just generally just going for the more premium option. And that's obviously what we can see here, with some people selling on the £14 mark, some people up around the £19 mark, and everyone else is kind of variating in that kind of zone. So if you was doing this, if you was doing product research for yourself, you'd want to be looking at all of these different products, all of the different prices, and just having a really good overview of this market. And you need to understand, why is this guy selling for £14? Is his bundle not as big? Is he not selling as much? Does he not sell as high quality product as this guy selling for £19? Now, it may be due to their review quality. It may be due to the amount of reviews they have. This guy is selling a bit cheaper to help him get ranked because he's just started selling. You won't know until we look at more of the data, but these are things you need to understand. You can't go into a market and charge £18 and not know why other people are charging £18 or £14, because there might be a serious distinction between these two sellers, that if you just try and sell at £19 without knowing what that distinction is, your product could flop. So that's obviously not something we want to happen. So moving across to the sales, everyone here in the top 15 going on to still up to 20, down to probably like 24 sellers, they're all getting very, very good sales. Obviously, some people are doing way better than others. And again, this is something you want to know, obviously, why that is. We've got an AMZ listing here who's obviously killing it, doing very well. So Amazon themselves are selling this product. Now, they are getting a huge amount of sales. Their price is higher, and they are ranked basically number one by the sponsored listings. But that wouldn't really worry me, because all of these other sellers who aren't Amazon selling the product are still doing very well as well. If Amazon was getting 5,500 sales and all these other sellers were getting 50 odd, then yes, I'd be worried. But this shows that everyone else is still getting a good amount of sales, not just Amazon. So why would it scare me that Amazon is selling this product? I don't care if they get more sales than me. I don't care if they're ranked higher than me. If I can still get my slice of the market, even if they're getting a bigger slice, it doesn't bother me, because I'm still going to be getting, say, 500 sales a month, and I'll be happy with that. I don't need to be beating Amazon just for the sake of saying, woo, I beat Amazon. It doesn't really bother me that they're doing so well, as long as I can do well as well. So we'll come back to the history of these sales in a minute, and we'll cover some other numbers. So again, the revenues just reflecting what the sales are saying, basically. If you've got high sales, you've obviously got high revenue, so no point in really covering that in too much depth. So we'll look at the BSR. Now, the BSR can be a really good telltale sign to us of why sellers are getting higher numbers than others. Because if you look at, for example, these two listings here, if you compare these two people, just those one there, or just any two, to be honest, and you cannot differentiate at all. They've got identical listings, but this guy's selling 1,300 units and this guy's selling 250. Let's just say they're both MFN. They're not different in any way. They're exactly the same. Why are they selling different amounts? And you can't put your finger on it. And if you don't know why that is, then it's going to be very hard for you to sell this product without knowing why some sellers are doing well. How can you predict how well you're going to do if you don't know why these sellers are selling well? And that's basically where the BSR comes in, which is basically telling us how highly a product is ranking in a category, which is obviously going to get it more sales. The higher you're ranking, the more you're seen, the more sales you're going to get. So this seller here getting almost 1,340 sales has a BSR of 1,228. Well, the seller below him has a BSR of 2,650, and he's obviously getting a lot less sales. Now, obviously, this fluctuates a tiny bit. Obviously, this BSR is lower than this guy, but he's getting more sales, but obviously his price is cheaper. So again, you can start to piece together here, okay, he's ranked higher, he's ranked lower, but this guy's getting more sales, okay, but his price is lower, so he'll probably be getting more sales. But even though he's getting loads more sales, he's only making a bit more revenue because his price is so low. So you can really start to quickly piece together, okay, why is this seller here? Why is he here? Why is he getting this sales? And really start to understand the market extremely quickly by looking at the BSR, where people are ranked. So obviously Amazon BSR of 192, explaining why their sales are so high, because they're ranked so highly, which is obviously they're selling their own listing, so they can put it wherever they want. So that's probably why their BSR is so high. But I don't really care if their BSI is that high if I can get in this area here. This is what I'm looking to target. I'm not looking to be a BSI of 190 and compete with Amazon. So moving across to the ratings, is there anywhere we can improve this product? There's a bunch of 4-star ratings here, some 3 stars, 4s, 2 5s, So there's definitely quite a few low ratings here, which show there could be an opportunity to improve the quality of this product. Now, if you want to go into these products and look at the negative reviews, and then we can see, okay, a lot of people are complaining about this point. How can I improve that? Get rid of that point that are annoying people, or that's breaking, or that's causing an issue. Mention in my listing that we have improved that point, and try and make that almost a marketing angle for us when launching this product. So because this product has quite a few low reviews, there probably is something like that we can find, which is again a big green light for this product, giving us another way to break into this market with something different that no one else here has obviously done yet. So coming across to the review count now, this again is going to help us see why some sellers are doing so well. So the example used before of this guy doing 1,330 sales, he is an FBA listing, and he has basically 5,500 reviews. Now, that could be why he's getting such high sales. It's probably helping him rank his BSR so high, or ranking his listing so high, which is again helping his sales. So that doesn't really help us too much. Obviously, I'd say probably his BSR is a bigger factor of him getting good sales than having 5,500 reviews, because once you get to a certain level of reviews, say a couple hundred, the more you get, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's not like, okay, I've got an extra 100 reviews, I'll get 10 more sales, and then another 100 reviews, I'm going to get another 10 more sales. Once you get into the thousands, you're not going to discriminate between someone having 3,000 reviews or 4,000 reviews, and they both have 5 stars. They both have 1,000 reviews, they're both tested, they both have social proof. It doesn't matter how many thousands you have at that point, you have enough reviews. So this guy obviously doing very well. The guy below him with 6 reviews still doing £4,000 in revenue, so not bad at all. This guy down here, 4 reviews, doing £3,000 in revenue. His price is much cheaper, so you'd want to understand why that is. You've got a guy up here again with 5 reviews doing £6,200. 67 reviews doing £5,500. This guy 370, so a higher review number, but still doing very well. So there are people who have just launched this product who are actually doing very, very well. In retrospect, of people doing such high reviews, they're obviously doing better, but that's probably just more linked to them being higher ranked, or to their products being differentiated more, or something like that. If you can see that sellers with low reviews are getting good sales, then the reason they're probably not getting great sales is more to do with their product and things like that. So the reviews here don't really worry me too much. Again, with the average review saying it's 442, this guy here of 5,500, this guy of 3,000, and Amazon with 1,200, they are pulling that number up massively. You take those out, and the number of reviews here really isn't that high. People with low reviews are getting ranked and they're getting sales. This is an amazing sign. So lastly, we'll go ahead and look at these sales trends. And just from this, we can see that the sales trends are on the way up. This product is spiking at the minute. So we want to understand, is it spiking now and we're looking at inflated numbers, or is it just on an upward trend for this product? So we'll go for people who have high reviews, because they probably have a longer history of selling this product, which is better for us to see a bigger history. It's not going to help us seeing a sales history of 3 months, because we can't then see any seasonality over a couple of years. So we'll go for this guy here, FBA listing. Again, just before I do this, guys, actually, that's a great point. He's an FBA listing and he is doing incredibly. So that's probably a good point you'd want to pick out, that the only FBA guy here is killing it. Another FBA guy up here of 60 reviews, he's doing okay. His price is obviously a lot cheaper, so you have to find out what's the difference between these two and understand that a bit more. But still a great sign that FBA listings are ranking and doing well. So we'll check out this guy's sales history and see how he's doing. So I went ahead and selected all time, so we can see the biggest time frame of this product, and we can see it's actually on a downward trend for this guy. So back in 2018, July 2018, he was selling around 360 units for a 7-day moving average every single day. So that's absolutely crazy numbers. Obviously, since then, he's been coming down. So this is a negative correlation trend, which obviously isn't something you want to see. We don't want to launch a product that's on its way out. So that might just be that particular seller. Let's look at another person and see if their trends show the same thing, because this could definitely put us off going for this product. So again, in the same time frame, around July 2018, doing a very large amount of sales, 120-ish to 100 a day, doing absolutely amazing. And since then, the sales have been dropping. I'd probably say between April 2019, April 2020, they're starting to average out a bit, but they're still going down a hell of a lot. So let's go for this guy with 370 reviews, someone who has a bit less reviews, see if they have anything different to show. So they're though since July 2018, they obviously wasn't doing as well in 2018, but since then they've been doing fairly average. So the negative correlation shown between these people that we checked out before might just be because in July 2018 they was doing so extraordinarily well that it just makes now look very poor in comparison. But you definitely want to check a few more of those just to make sure that that is the case. So if you was going to launch this product personally, you definitely want to go through and check every single one of those to understand, is this a negative correlation? Is the product on its way out? Is it a downward trend? Or is it just those few sellers that are showing that? And are you confident you can continue to do well in the future? So in general, as a summary of this product, I would probably give it a shot. If I seen the opportunity, if I calculated the margins and thought, okay, I can do this, if I understood that why there were so few FBA sellers, so here there's a cluster of quite a few, and they're all doing between, so I've got a seller here doing 7 grand FBA, another one doing 3 grand, another one doing 5.5, 4.5. So FBA sellers are doing well. So I would probably go for this product. I would give it a shot. Do some more research on it. But at the end of the day, I think you could probably do well because there are sellers here with very low reviews who are getting good sales. Understand how you can be different, how you can improve on the flaws of this product shown by the low ratings. How can you enter the market with a better listing, a better offer, and hopefully you can take some of the market share and do very well. So that's my breakdown of this product for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this. Let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying these videos and you want to see some more. I really appreciate it. With all that said, subscribe, click the bell notification, like the video. And yeah, just thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.